Hello and welcome to Tonalist Painting with M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and we're into the 25 days of tonalism right now. It's day 9 and we're doing a study after a painting by George Henry Smiley, and the name of his painting is Windy Day. And I don't know much about George Henry Smiley. I had to do a bit of research before starting our video today, and I'll have a couple of links about him in the corresponding blog post. Meanwhile, I'm going to read some information about him from a site, Quest Royale Fine Art. George Henry Smiley, born into an artistic family, 1840 to 1921. Born into an artistic family, George Smiley became a well-known landscape painter at the end of the 19th century. Raised in New York City, George first trained as an engraver under his father, James H. Smiley. He went on to study painting with James McDougall Hart, a leading member of the Hudson River School, and a part of his own artistic dynasty. Smiley began exhibiting at the National Academy of Design at the age of 22 and became known for his polished, realistic landscapes. He made frequent painting trips to the Adirondack Mountains and the White Mountains, rode through the West with his brother James David Smiley, another established landscape painter, to sketch in the Rocky Mountains and Yosemite, and traveled to Europe in the 1870s. In 1881, he married Nellie Jacobs, a genre painter who had studied under his brother, and the three of them shared a painting studio in New York City for the next 3 decades. Smiley's style loosened as his career progressed, evolving from a traditional Hudson River School mode to a more vigorous, impressionistic manner. He was a full member of the National Academy and served as its secretary in 1892. He was also a member of a heck of a lot of artistic associations, which I am not going to enumerate here. But that's a little biographical information on George, and I really like this painting of his. I was looking forward to doing it from the very beginning. Not sure where I came across it or how I found it, but I really like it, and I'm really happy with the way the study came out. So, now, just for those of you that follow my videos, I'm attempting to avoid umming and ahhing as much. I know it can be a little bit annoying, so if you hear pauses, I'm going to try and train myself to pause like a real professional video guy, as I just go or I may just forget to do that altogether and continue to just blather about and ramble as I usually do. Either way, your attendance here is appreciated, and we're building up quite a nice following on YouTube. I'm really glad to have you new subscribers on board. There's been pretty much one joining every day, and welcome aboard. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me in YouTube, or if you go to my website, there's an email address there, and I'm happy to answer questions, at least until such a time as it becomes overwhelming. Anyway, how's it going in the studio? That's what you want to know. And I finished some paintings up last week, and I did some photography of those this week, so I probably won't be rolling out any of those on the blog the blog posts and video that we're going to be doing tomorrow, but we will be getting into some of that new groovy good stuff coming up next week. So that's always exciting, and I'm always really into sharing my new stuff because, of course, it's new and I'm more into it. Currently, though, what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 days is I have composited about 14 different scenes, and I have been I'm doing my studies 5x5, 5x7, and what have you. And so far I'm just on the drawing stage. I did one drawing this morning, and several of these drawing stages over the past couple of days. I'm going to try to finish all those up today. And it's funny how you can have, a lot of plans and goals to get a lot done in the studio, and yet easily waste your time drinking coffee and shooting the shit and discussing philosophy with your mates. So that's important too, not saying it isn't, but at the end of the day we want to see paintings happening, because paintings carry forward after we're not here, and paintings are nice to look at. And paintings, as I always say to my good friend Joe, after we break from our coffee, I say, go on and get out there and justify your existence. And so that's a great reason to do art, just to justify your existence. I am also working currently on 3 larger paintings that are being carried forward from the last bunch of studies I'd done. I had decided sort of not to do these, but there was a couple verticals that I hadn't done, which I know I've brought up in several different videos, so I won't get back into that. But I've got these 2 verticals going and 1 horizontal, which is, for me, kind of a generic scene. I'm hoping to infuse it with a lot of nice glow, which will be accomplished, I'm hoping, with the glazing and in the second pass, because it looks okay right now. It's just, to me, it's very kind of matter of fact, and I'm not into matter of fact paintings. I like my paintings to be charged with a certain quality. It could be a warm, cold quality or a cool quality. It could be any particular type of quality, but I like it to be infused with meaning and color and emotion. And if it's too straightforward, I feel like I've failed. But we'll let you be the judge of that. And of course, art history. Okay, so getting on to other things going on. We're been working on the blog, and we're working on the videos, and it's been going pretty well. I also do have another series called 25 More Days of Tonalism, which I've been moving forward with a bit. Probably about 15 days into my first color pass on those. I have all the drawing portions done on those, and that kind of thing can be, it really depends on what else is going on in the studio. I think a lot of it is contingent on the fact that I like to do, I like them because they're 5x7, so they're less committal. I can use them to fill some time before lunch, or if I have a little time after I've done my larger painting for that day, I can put one up on the easel and know that, I have a commitment of an hour or so. Usually on those 5x7s, it's an hour to an hour 15 per each session, and the drawing sessions usually only take me 20 minutes to a half hour. So I like 5x7s because they're small, they're contained, and there's not a lot of commitment there. But the end result is still a beautiful painting, a smaller painting, but still a beautiful painting. If I'm doing other 5x7s, I will tend not to work so much on these 25-day projects as when I'm in the thick of it with a bunch of larger paintings and I'm looking to fill up time. So I expect to have a bit of a gap in the 25 more days, but it's there to fill gaps, so we'll fill gaps with it as need be. And it's going to take me, I think this is day 9, so we got lots and lots of weeks before that actually has to be done. My plan is sort of to bring in the 25 more days after I'm done with this 25 days and just keep rolling with 2 videos and blog posts per week, which is a good amount of work for me, but I feel I'm giving something back to the world I'm sharing mostly what tonalism's about. By the way, I'll be discussing on the blog today the very excellent book called History of American Tonalism 1880 to 1920. It's being reprinted, so the name of the artist is David A. Cleveland, and it's a pre-order on Amazon right now. So if you don't have this book, it's your big chance to get it before it sells out yet again. The initial first printing sold out many years back and just goes for buku bucks right now. Anyway, I can see we're close to the end. Thanks for joining me today. Go to my site, landscapepainter.co.nz. Follow the blog, check out my work, whatever. Contact me if you want. And we'll be back with another in this 25 days next week. Meanwhile, take good care and stay out of trouble.